Hey everyone, this is Victoria. I'm here from the customer success team, and today on our webinar we're going to be talking about integrations, which is possible integrations and connections you're able to do outside of Pipefy, and we're briefly going to go through API. So most of the integrations made by our clients and users, they are made through Zappier. We're going to show a little bit more how Zappier works and possible integrations and connections you're able to do. So before going a little bit deeper on Zapier, I just want to talk a little bit about our start form. Most of you guys are already users on Pipefy, clients from Pipefy, and are very familiar with our start form. Basically, our start form is our entry door to start a process. It's just like baking. You need your ingredients first to then start baking. So these are essential information that you need to put in to create a card and go through the process. It's really important. The start form is really important in doing this connection through Zapier because this needs to match the other app. So Zapier, it allows you to connect different apps. Zapier has over 750 apps that you're able to connect, and it works with triggers and actions. So when something happens in this app, I want it to generate an action on another app. But we're going to talk about that further. So just remember that the start form is really important, and you'll understand why a little bit further. So this is Zapier that I just mentioned. This is the initial screen. When you enter Zapier, you can search here for all of the apps that are available. And it has a few filters. So let's say you have more than 100 connections made per month. Then you're possibly going to be going to a paid plan. But if you don't do over 100 connections using Zapier, you can stay in the free plan. And a few integrations that most of our clients use that's very common is Google Sheets, Google Calendar, Slack. Zapier has a few settings too, Zendesk, Facebook, and Pipedrive. These are just a few, but if you search here, you're going to be able to find all the other apps that you're able to do connections with Pipefy. So when you enter Zapier, you're also going to have a few recommendations and to talk about a little bit of them today. And the one we're going to focus more is Google Sheets. So let's say when a new row is added to my Google Sheets, I want it to automatically create a card on Pipefy. You're able to do that through Zapier. Or let's say my team uses Slack. When a new card is created on Pipefy, I want people from a certain channel on Slack to be notified. You're able to do that. Also, Zapier has a few settings, and one of them is recurring activity. So let's say every week I want a card to be created on my pipe, reminding me of a certain bill I need to pay or reminding me of activity I need to do. You're able to do that with this connection of Zapier that allows you to do recurring activities. Once a week, once a month, there's a lot of settings for that. And also another option that you're able to do is Pipefy and Pipefy. So let's say when a card hits a done phase, I want it to automatically create a card on another pipe. You're able to do that using Zapier. So these are just a few. You also have Zendesk and Pipedrive to also do those connections, but Zapier recommends these. Also, if you go inside Pipefy and go on your settings and click on integrations, there's going to be a few integrations that's going to be recommended for you too. So it's already structured, it's already setted, but we're going to show how to do the settings today. So today we're going to talk about integrations with Google Sheets and Pipefy, which is the most used by our clients. So as I said before, Zapier works with triggers and actions. Something needs to take place in an app for it to generate an action on another app. In this case, we're going to be using Google Sheets as our trigger. So something is going to happen on Google Sheets to then take place on Pipefy. So an action is going to take place on Pipefy. What we're going to be doing, you can see that there are a few triggers and actions on each app that Zapier sets. So today we're going to be doing a new row on Google Sheets is going to automatically create a card on Pipefy. So what I'm going to show you guys right now, I'm going to go here to a pipe. In this example, I'm going to say that new clients, I'm on a sales pipeline. This is my sales pipeline. And every time I update a new client, a new row here on my spreadsheet, it's going to automatically create a card on Pipefy. So something that's really important to remember that I talked about earlier is the start form. So as you can see, on my start form, I have contact name, phone number, and email. If I go to my spreadsheet, I'm going to see 3 columns. These columns need to match my start form. So this is how Zapier is going to work. It's going to get the information from these columns and is going to automatically fill in my start form. That's why it's really important to have these fields setted and be careful on what kind of field you're using. So for example, if I used a assignee field here, for example, a column here is really hard to match it. So it has to match for the connection to work. Another example would be a due date. Let's say I don't have an exact due date. I don't have an exact email on my spreadsheet. It won't recognize and won't match my start form. So it's really important to be careful with the fields you're going to be using on your start form and see if Zapier is going to be able to recognize and match these 2 applications, these 2 apps you're wanting to do the connection. So now we're going to actually do the connection. If you don't have an account on Zapier, it's super easy to set it up. And once you set it up, this is your initial screen. And you're going to click on Make a Zap. Make a Zap is basically create a connection. So we're going to make a Zap. First, we're going to start off choosing what is going to be our trigger. Just remind you guys that not only for Google Sheets, but any other app that you're going to do in integration, a connection, it's the same formula. It's the same thing, just a few information that are going to change. So I'm going to choose a trigger. So a trigger is going to be something that happens on Google Sheets. So I'm going to add a new spreadsheet row. So every time a new spreadsheet row is added, that's my trigger. So I'm going to save and continue. And here you just have to log in your account. It's really easy. You're just going to create a new account and do the step-by-step to log on to your account. I already have mine set it up, so I'm just going to choose it. Now I'm just going to choose from where is Zapier going to get the information to start a card, to take place, to start an action on another app that in this case is going to be Pipefy. So I created a spreadsheet called Victoria Test. So I'm going to be using this one, which is this one right here. And what worksheet is going to be sheet 1. So save and continue. Here, just make sure that everything's okay, that the Google Sheets is in the right structure. So we're just going to fetch and continue. Here, Zapier just makes a test to make sure everything's okay again. You can retake the test to make sure everything's okay again, but the test was successful. So we're going to continue. So our trigger is setted. Everything with our spreadsheet is okay. And now we're going to go to the action. The action is going to take place on Pipefy. So I'm going to choose Pipefy right now. What action do I want to happen on? Do I want that it's going to happen on Pipefy? So I want that a new card will be created. So the action is going to be create card. Save and continue. This is the same thing as spreadsheet. You're going to just log in your account, and mine is connected already, so I'm just going to choose it, save, and continue. Now it's really important. I'm going to choose which pipe the action is going to take place. So as I said, it's my sales pipeline from my team, Victoria Pipefy. So I'm going to just choose that. Let's just find it. Victoria Pipefy sales pipeline. And now we're going to choose what fields, what information is going to be input in these fields. So these are the fields I have on my start form, and I'm going to choose from where the information is going to be input. So basically, I'm choosing these rows right here from my spreadsheet to be completed on my start form. So contact name, I want the row name. Contact phone number, I want the phone. And email, I want the row email. So that's basically what I did. I I just chose what rows, what informations are going to be in this row. That's going to be input here on my start form so Zapier can do it. And the test is successful. This is really important now, so you're going to finish the Zap, and you see here your Zap is, it's really important to click for it to be on. Sometimes people do the entire steps, everything right, but they forget to turn on the Zap. And you can also name this connection, name this Zap. I'm just going to call it Victoria Test. It's really important also to read what's here and below. So here you can see that this connection will be updated every 15 minutes. So sometimes you did everything right, you think it's not working, but it's because it's only updated every 15 minutes. Let's say I don't want to wait 15 minutes for it to do the connection, for it to update, for it to happen. You just go on dashboard. Here you're going to see all the connections you have. You're just going to click here and going to click run. Just so you guys can see it running. Here's my spreadsheet. I'm going to update it. Let's say my client's name is Gustavo. His number is 55995000000, and his email is gustavo@email.com. So I updated something on my spreadsheet, and the action I wanted to take place is create a new card on Pipefy. So let's do this connection. Let's make it run, make it happen. And it found one new row. So I'm going to go here on my sales pipeline. And as you can see, Gustavo was added. So that's basically how Zapier works with triggers and actions. Just really be careful with your start form, with the information, with the type of field you're going to use, because it needs to match the other app or else the connection isn't going to work. Just do the step-by-step on Zapier. I'm also going to be sending everyone our link from our help.pipefy.com. If you search for Zapier, you're going to find a bunch of guides, a bunch of help to help you with this connection. Like if you have other questions and things like that, we also have it here. Oh, just reminding of something. Lots of clients, they use this connection, Google Sheets and Pipefy, if they want to migrate from a spreadsheet to Pipefy. So this is a way you can also do that automatically than having to manually input all the information and create new cards. You can do that through a connection on Zapier. And now just talking a little bit about API. API is something a little bit more technical. With our API, you're able to do connections with other apps, with other systems. So let's say you have an internal system in your company that's not online, that's not on Zapier, and you want more actions to take place. You're able to do that using our API, but you're probably going to need someone from your IT department or someone from development. You need to have a little bit more knowledge to work with our API and be able to do those connections. But if you have someone or if you get someone to do that connection for you, we have it available. I'm going to be sending this link for you below, but if you search it on Pipefy, you're going to be able to find it very easily. So that's it for our webinar. I'm going to be checking the questions, see if you have any questions or had any questions during our presentation, you're going to be able to see it. Let me see here what we have. So Wesley asked, are you planning direct integration with other cloud services, or we will always use Zapier? Yeah, we actually are thinking of other integrations. I can give you more information through email, and I'll see here with our team even more info about that, and I'll make sure to send it right after our webinar over here. Let's see, Zapier, Pipefy, Google Sheets must be open for the integration to work. I believe it does not need to be open. You just need to enter your account when you're going step by step. You just need to log in your account, but no, it doesn't need to be open. Does anyone have any other question? Does Google Sheet have to be online, or I can integrate with the GS in my Mac? I believe it has to be online because that's how Zapier works. It's going to get the information from the online Google Sheets, and or else it won't be able to locate it. But I'll check that, and I will make sure to send that through email. I'll write that right now. Okay, everyone, I think that's it for today. Thanks, everyone, for watching the webinar, and I'll be answering the other questions as soon as possible through email. Thanks everyone. Bye bye.